Welcome to Royal Legacy, where we will explore the rich athletic history and deep family connections of BYU sports. Join us as we honor the past, celebrate the present, and look forward to the future of the BYU Cougars. Here's your host, Lauren McLean.
How's it going, everyone? I'm Lauren McLean, and welcome to Royal Legacy, where we dive deep into the family connections of BYU sports. Today's guests are brothers from the BYU football team, freshman linebacker Berkley Alfrey and his older brother, redshirt senior safety Talan Alfrey. Guys, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We're excited.
Yeah, thank you.
This is going to be awesome. Talan, your family is from Auburn, Washington, which is just south of Seattle.
Yep.
How does Provo compare to Auburn?
Oh.
Because Provo's been your home for a while now. So,
yeah.
So how would you compare the two?
Yeah, last 5 years. Auburn's great. I loved growing up there. The traditional, it rains a lot in Seattle's true, but we still played outside. We still had fun. But then being here, I love how close the mountains are. I think that's like the difference, like geographically, is there's mountains in Washington, but they're just further away, and it's like super hilly. Here it's flat, and then boom, the mountains hit you. So I like the mountains. I don't know. That's different, but I like both.
Well, you have it's Mount Rainier. That's super close, right? So, Berkley, what's your favorite thing to do as a family in Auburn? Because your town, they call it the gateway to Mount Rainier. So I'm sure, assuming there's a lot of like outdoorsy things to do. So what did you guys do as a family growing up?
That's a great question. You can help me with this. We did a lot of different things because there were so many kids. I feel like we were always running all over the place. But yeah, sports was a lot of how we grew up. We went to each other's games. As far as outdoor stuff, there's always like hikes, and we grew up doing the Boy Scouts, so doing campouts and stuff like that as well.
Well, let's talk about your family a little bit, because you guys have 3 older sisters. Talan, you have 2 younger brothers, obviously one right here. Talan, how would you describe what the Alfrey family household was like when you were growing up with 6 kids?
Yeah, it was fun. It was chaotic, busy. Like Berkley said, there's always all 3 of our sisters played sports as well. So we grew up going to their sporting events, and then they would come to ours. And then so our parents were just kind of running the kids around to wherever they needed to be, and they were great. And it was fun competitive as well. Just always playing together. I remember just even wrestling, little brothers, but also wrestling with my sisters when I was younger, and even arm wrestling my mom to stay up later at night. So stuff like that. It was fun. It was it was a good time. I mean, obviously, like every family, there's the arguments and fights, but pretty close. Still are close, all of us. So super grateful for what we had growing up and where we're at now. Because like I said, we don't live close, unfortunately, but we're all pretty close, calling each other and stuff. So.
Arm wrestling your mom. That's amazing. So she's probably pretty tough.
Yeah. We always, our dad might not like this, but we always joke that we got our strength from our mom and then our height from my dad.
Okay.
so my mom's pretty strong, pretty tough, and it took me a while until I was able to beat her for more to stay up later.
I love hearing that. Like, how old would you say when you could finally beat your mom in an arm wrestle?
Oh, that's a good. I don't know, maybe 14. 13 or 14 maybe.
Well, it's not bad. Yeah. Berkley, you're right under Talan in the family. What was your relationship like with each other when you were younger? You guys told me you're 3 years apart. Mm-hmm. So what was your relationship like? Because I feel like with 2 brothers, it can be super competitive, but also 3 years is a decent amount of time. So how would you describe what that was like?
Yeah, with that amount of time, he was always better at me than in all the sports, like just because he had more time to get better, and even like the little things, like we got a ping pong table for Christmas one year, and I remember I would get so frustrated because I could not win that first couple nights, and we would stay up late, and he would let me play him over and over again, and until I would finally beat him, and then he would be like, all right, rematch, let's go. And so it was fun because him being that much older always pushed me to become better, but it also was a fun environment because of that competitive nature that it drew. I think that also helped. I think everyone in the family was just always competitive playing sports. Everyone wants to win. And so, it was just a blast to grow up like that.
Talan, would you view that relationship on the other side of that, where you're letting your younger brother continue to play you in ping pong? Yeah. I see it with my own boys; they're about that distance apart. Like, how did you view that relationship with your brother?
It was fun. I mean, always having someone to compete with and play with was fun. Whether it was spike ball, he said ping pong. We had foosball table too, but the ping pong matches were fun because those went late into the night, and it was in the basement where our parents couldn't hear, so we could play until early in the morning. And yeah, we would always keep track of wins and losses, and if it was tied, we'd have to keep going. And eventually, he got good, and then it was really even. But in the early years, it was fun practice for me.
We've talked about your parents a little bit, Danny and Trevor. They were both multi-sport athletes. Talan, how did they influence your love for sports growing up?
I think just introducing me to them. I mean, they weren't really forceful in one or the other. I mean, I played soccer growing up, flag football, basketball. Kind of just maybe did karate for a day. But I think I attribute a lot to them just kind of introducing me to sports in general and giving me the opportunity and resources to be able to play and join teams and have a basketball hoop in the cul-de-sac outside our house, and always giving me that chance to just do what I like, which was just to play.
In Berkeley, you got to watch Talan do all these things as the older brother. You obviously had your sisters too, but it's a little bit different when it's your brother, right? So how did Talan influence what sports you decided to play as you got a little bit older?
That actually had a lot of influence because I just followed basically what he did. We both played football, basketball, and track in high school. Those were our three sports. Looking back, I probably was a little bit better at other sports, maybe like wrestling, than basketball. I don't have the height or anything for basketball. So looking back, I maybe should have chose different sports based on my skill set. But, he definitely influenced those decisions. But it was a lot of fun just to play the same sports because we always could compete. And, yeah. And
it all works out. Yeah. It all works out in the end, right?
Yeah.
So you guys have a younger brother, Ryder.
Yes.
He's the youngest in the family, the baby. Mm-hmm. What's something he can get away with that you guys never could? Because that always happens with the baby in the family. What would you guys say to that?
That's a good question.
I was out of the house when he was like in high school and stuff, but just knowing that he had more freedom to, hang out where he, I don't know if he had all the freedom that he might claim he had, but just that type of stuff,
Yeah.
Just freedom to go hang out whenever, wherever, and he was the last one, and also spoiled because he's the only one that had to take care of when he was left. But I don't know. I think our parents did a pretty good job keeping it pretty consistent. Wow. I mean, I think our older sister had it the hardest, just being the first.
Always.
But then each of us afterwards kind of learned and molded into who we are. So.
Talan, in high school, you played defensive back, receiver, running back, quarterback, kicker, punter, and kick returner. You also played basketball and competed on the track team in the long and triple jump. That's pretty crazy. That's a lot of sports, and it's amazing. What made you choose football to take to the next level?
Yeah, it's a good question. It was pretty, pivotal my sophomore year. I was playing basketball, playing football, doing track, and I was playing basketball, and I grew early, so I've been this high since like 8th grade. So I've always,
whoa, really?
Yeah, and so I've been like the power forward always, but I'm only 6'1", and so I'm playing undersized power forward in high school, and I'm playing guys who are 6'8", 6'9", and I'm just like I'm seeing the seniors that year, like the opportunities they're getting. We have some good players, and they're going D2, which is really good for basketball. It's hard to go Division I. So to have some guys go D2, D3, and I was like, at that time, I was like, I'm not going to be able to be a 6'1" power forward at the Division I level for basketball. So then I kind of shifted my focus to football, and like I said, everything works out. And yeah. I liked both equally, but basketball was definitely my first love. So
really,
yeah. So sophomore year is kind of when I shifted to focusing more on football and kind of, the lifting changed to be more football specific and the training and all that in my free time. So, I still play basketball. Still played it my junior, senior year and loved it. But, yeah, that sophomore year is when I realized that my potential in football was bigger than it was in basketball. So I kind of shifted my focus then.
So in an alternate universe, you'd be at BYU right now playing alongside AJ
Yeah,
DeBonsa and all those guys.
I like to dream, so yeah, I like to dream, so.
Just a few more inches and you could have been there.
Exactly.
How do you feel like playing multiple sports has influenced what you've been able to do at the collegiate level? Because there's a lot, especially with the younger kids right now, there's a lot of, just focusing on baseball or basketball or football. But you played all the sports. It sounds like you all did. How do you feel like that has helped you at this next level?
Yeah, I think just, it's like, not to be scientific, or like the cross-training and stuff. Like, you work different muscle groups, you develop different skills, which can all help in every sport that you try and play. So, yeah, growing up playing everything, in high school playing everything, track was obviously for speed, and I wasn't a crazy longer triple jumper, but, like, I had the speed and power, so that's why I did it, and it helped with, producing power in the football field or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, I'm a big fan of not specializing and, playing everything, because it's just more fun, too. Like, you make more friends, you have more diversity, you're just not bored, just. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think I still love football. I've been doing it for the last 5 years here, and in my off season I'll still play basketball. I'll still play volleyball, whatever, just to mix things up. So,
or your coach is like, you better be careful.
Of course,
that's what you're doing.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Berkley, you were a running back and linebacker in high school, but you also played basketball and competed in track. So for you, how did football win out?
Unlike Talan, it was always my favorite sport. I like to look to my grandpa, my mom's dad, was a big football player, and then my uncle, my mom's brother, played football as well. And so just with Talan and then other cousins that always played, it was just the sport that I just enjoyed watching, enjoyed playing. So yeah, that's why I tried to stick to football.
Let's talk about how you guys ended up at BYU. Talan, you had offers to play at Oregon, Washington, Utah, to name a few. There were some other ones as well. Is that right?
You could say that.
Sort of. You look at your brother.
I like that they always put that information, but it's not always.
It's not always accurate.
I was talking with some of the recruiters, but it wasn't offered by some of those schools. Some of the other ones, yes, but.
Listen, you got to embellish to make yourself look a little better. It's all right. Whoever writes those bios, right?
Yeah.
But what made BYU the right place for you?
Yeah, I think for me, what it came down to was just wanting to go to a place that I could thrive in all areas of life. And obviously I wanted to serve a mission, and that was a big kind of roadblock for a lot of schools recruiting me. They said, we heard you can serve until you're 25. Like, come play 4 years, then go serve. I'm like, yeah, I could, but I want to serve right away out of high school and dedicate those 2 years to that, and then come back and play my college career. So BYU obviously familiar with that, and so it made it really easy. There's obviously other schools that were willing to do it, but not as, on board for it. And then spiritually, you can thrive here. Socially, you can thrive here. Academically, it's a great school. So I just had this, and then on the official visit, one of the biggest things that stood out was like the networking and BYU network that's, worldwide or, nationwide. And having been here for 5 years, that's definitely it's come to pass. It's the networking that I've been able to do here has been insane, and it's been life-changing. And so, yeah, that was kind of the pull to BYU. And it's always been, dream school growing up, watching them. But, yeah, that was definitely the deciding factor. And then, obviously, Kalani's great, and I knew he was going to be here. So, yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was curious about this, because coming into college is like 18 year, I guess after your mission, you're about 20, right? 2021. The things you have dreams about and how this is going to be. And now that you're a senior, you mentioned like the networking is like you thought it was going to be. What about all those other things that you thought BYU was going to be? Now that you're a senior, what does it look like?
Yeah, I academically graduated already, so that's been great. I love to learn, so got that done. Socially, made great friends. Ended up getting married a couple of years ago, or 3 years ago now, so that's been great. And we had met a little briefly before the mission, but or before the BYU on the mission.
Yeah.
But then came back to BYU at the same time, so that obviously gave us that opportunity to get to know each other better and stuff. So yeah, academically, spiritually, physically, everything. It's been, you know, what's the right
It
word
lived up
again?
to expectations.
Yeah. Exceeded them actually. So it's been great.
Berkley, did you know you always wanted to play not for, probably don't play for your brother, but with your brother? Or why did you choose BYU?
Yeah, I had a very different recruiting experience. I was my junior year was when COVID started, and so that was really tough to, especially in Washington. They shut everything down. My senior year we only played 5 games, but in the springtime, and so it was really weird, hard to get film, hard to get, I guess, acknowledgement from college coaches. So my best offer was a D2 school in Colorado, which was fantastic, and I was really grateful. But I just wanted to be at BYU. Another factor was I ended up marrying my high school sweetheart, and so she did her freshman year during that COVID time at home, and then I knew she was, after the mission, she was going to come back to BYU, and so that was also a big draw for me. Anyways, yeah, so I decided to come here, and I did a walk-on. I did the walk-on program. So I didn't have a spot on the team. I kind of talked to the old linebacker coach. He told me after the mission, come to BYU after the mission. We'll have a spot ready for you. Kind of a preferred walk-on, but not really official. And then while I was on my mission, the whole defensive staff changed, and so I was basically starting fresh. It was really helpful to have Talan already here. He already built that relationship with Coach Hill. He knew Coach Anna a little bit, not as well, but anyway, so that was helpful to get my foot in the door, get into that walk-on program, and then it took me a while. It took me about 1.5 years, but I made it on the team, and yeah, it was just a very different experience.
That's got to be a tough process.
Yeah, it was long.
To hang in there. How did you get through that? Obviously, you had your wife and your brother, but that's 1.5 years to try and make it on the team as a walk-on. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was hard. It took a long time, but I got here. Fall semester 2023 was my first semester, and I took. I didn't go full time, so my clock didn't start. But I started into the walk-on program then, and then that spring ball later or after the new year, so 2024. I thought maybe there was a chance I would get pulled up to do a tryout during spring ball, but that didn't pan out. And so I was like, okay, well, I've given it a shot. This is not right for me, I guess. So I was kind of preparing to move on after that semester ended, and just do my own thing. But then Talan was talking to the coaches, and Coach Hill was gracious enough to meet with me. So I went to go meet with him and kind of feel out where I was at. And so what he told me then is he wanted me to join the team, but the next winter, so 2025. And so I went back into the walk-on class, the walk-on program during that next fall, and then I joined the team in 2025. So if it wasn't for that connection and for Coach Hill giving me the opportunity, then I wouldn't be playing football right now.
Talan, what is it about your brother that made you want to pull for him? Like, talk to Coach Hill and say, hey, give this guy a chance. What did you see in your brother that makes you think that he belongs at BYU?
Yeah, I believe in him, and this isn't like a knock to anyone on the team back then, but I knew he was better than some of the guys on the team, so I was like, this dude should be on the team if he's better than these guys. So that's what gave me a lot of confidence, talking to the coaches and be like, hey, like, I know it was a weird situation with COVID and everything, and the coaching changed, but he really is a good player, and I promise he'll show that. He's smart. He's not going to be a burden off the field either. Like, give him a shot, and he'll prove to you guys that he's a good enough player, and he has. And so, yeah, that made it easy. His character and everything made it easy too. So it's easy to vouch for a guy like Berkley.
Berkley, now that you guys are on the team together, and you get to both wear the royal blue and represent BYU and also the Alfrey name. What's it like being at BYU with your brother?
It's been awesome. Ever since I've been here, he's always been willing to help me out, whether it was, getting stranded because the moped I bought off Facebook Marketplace broke down and I needed a ride. He would come pick me up or just advice, talking to him and picking his brain about his experiences. It's been helpful, really helpful to have kind of a mentor, a built-in mentor to lean on.
Talan, what do your parents think about seeing you both in Cougar Blue? Are they super ecstatic about it? What do they say about it?
Yeah, super ecstatic, super excited, super fans now, and ever since I started, they started watching all of the BYU Sports TV or Sports Nation and have it on replays on night to fall asleep to, and so
all the sports.
Yeah, all the sports, not just football. So they're fans of every sport, and so it's fun to see their buy-in and their excitement to have us both down here, and it's been fun to see them.
What team did you guys grow up cheering for? Was it Washington or Oregon?
University of Washington.
Okay,
yeah,
they were
Oregon.
You're like, no. I knew it was one or the other, but
not Oregon.
So
no.
Washington was your team.
The Dogs, yep, the Huskies.
But now you're just true blue.
Yep, now we're
through and through. I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Cougars.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll dive more into what BYU football means to Talan and Berkley and how brotherly love carries them on and off the field. This is Royal Legacy. The Big 12 is packed with drama, heart, and unforgettable moments. And big stories is where it all comes to life. Host Cleon Wall scours the conference to uncover powerful tales of courage and resilience, while podcasters from all 16 schools break down the biggest plays and hottest storylines. Listen to Big Stories wherever you get your podcasts.
And now back to Royal Legacy and your host, Lauren McLean.
Welcome back to Royal Legacy. I'm Lauren McLean here with Berkley and Talan Alfrey, brothers from the BYU football team. Talan, you're both married and you've entered that phase of your life. How has your wife, Kate, it's Kate, right?
Yeah.
How's she helped you through your football journey?
Yeah, it's been nice to have someone who I can talk to, I can vent to, I can, get advice from. It's also been really fun to, she's a football fan, grew up a football fan, but teaching her the details of the game have been fun, explaining things, because, the fans have questions, but she'll have questions, and so it's been fun to just have someone to experience this with. It's a pretty unique experience to play at BYU and to be married as well. So, yeah, she travels to every game, and bowl games the last couple of years have been fun because the wives travel with us, and so that's always fun. So yeah, it's been great. Yeah, she's been awesome and great support.
Now that she's been in it for a few years with you and she knows the rules, does she ever try and offer you advice hey, you maybe need to try this next game? Does she say anything like that?
Not really, no. She will. She'll just say don't suck and make the tackle next time. So that's the advice that she gives me. So,
that's great. Hey, it's great advice though.
It's great.
Berkley, you're married to Maddie and you recently had a son named Brooks who was born in July. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's life-changing. That is so amazing. How has marriage and becoming a father changed the way you view life and football right now?
That's an excellent question. I think everyone probably says this, but it really just it helps you narrow down your focuses and your priorities. And the coaches are really great examples about this. They'll just make sure, or they'll remind us to make sure, hey, make sure you guys are making sure. How do I say that? Life at home is good. Take time to be with your wife. If you be with your girlfriend, make sure to do those things because they're necessary. And so it's been good to have that example. But yeah, just changing that. The priorities for me, because if football can end at any moment, it's unpredictable and you don't know what's going to happen. So having my wife and my son at home, it's fun to go home and be that's the most important.
Yeah. And Kalani really is such a good example of that, and I feel like that's unique among college football coaches and something that he brings. And Talan, speaking of head coach Kalani Sitake, he described you as one of the best leaders on the team, someone who could be a great coach someday. What does that mean to you, hearing that coming from a man that I'm assuming you admire, who's been your coach for a long time?
Yeah, admire is understatement. I love Kalani and everything that he's taught me, and he's been an example to me and a lot. So that means a lot, hearing that from him, and I'm grateful that he thinks that way. And I think his example, like Berkley said, is or like you said, like it's really unique in college football. And like he'll encourage us to call home, call your family, call your mom, call your grandma. I just like how he can also incorporate the gospel into things. It's kind of a tricky, but for me, in my mind, it's kind of been tricky to incorporate a violent game with the gospel, and he's done a really good job of that. And using Christ as the example of the toughest guy on earth and following his example and just stuff like that. So it's been great having that example, and I'm grateful that I'll be able to look back on these 5 years and look at my notes, look at all the meetings that I've been to with him, and see all the lessons learned and remember them and teach them to my kids and grandkids and whoever I come in contact with, because they're great lessons.
And it's cool to watch him practice what he preaches, seeing his dad, Tom,
Yeah.
next to him on the sideline in every single game. He really is all about family. His dad's right there.
Yep.
I just think that's the coolest thing.
We love Pops.
Oh, yeah, he calls him Pops.
I do love Pops.
I love watching him try and dance behind Kalani when Kalani comes out, and he's got some good moves too.
They do.
Berkley, what have you seen in Talan growing up and even today that you feel like makes him such a good leader, as Kalani Sitake has said?
I think that Talan is very good at leading by example. I don't know that he's always the most vocal person, which is totally great, but he leads by example by doing the little things right. And you can tell when we're in summer training or just in the locker room, like he keeps his locker clean, just those little things that the coaches always get on us about putting in the effort and watching film. You can tell that he's prepared every day at practice and for the games. So it's a good example, and he's a good leader in that way.
Talan, your mom would be so proud you keep your locker clean.
Yeah,
That's very impressive.
I do too. Okay.
Good job, Berkley. I'm assuming you do. You seem like that kind of guy. I love it. Talan, faith and religion is a big part of BYU football, like you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Maybe it's kind of hard to mix the two, but Kalani does a good job of finding a way to do that. How has it influenced your approach to the game and your outlook on challenges and injuries and things that you faced?
Yeah, there's always a lesson to be learned. And so when it comes to injuries, I've unfortunately had two kind of big ones while I've been here that have sidelined me, and that's been really hard. But then, they always happen for a reason. Some part of that reason I may have found out. Other ones I'm still wondering why, why did that have to happen to me? All those questions that people go through injuries. And but yeah, having him to, I remember after I broke my collarbone my junior year, he just hugged me. He didn't say anything. He just hugged me. After it was a night practice at the stadium, and I was crying. I'm a big baby, so I was crying because I was just sad that I wasn't going to be able to play. Yeah. So having him and my teammates there to kind of lean on was huge. And then, even that year, Coach Hill let me sit in the box with him and Coach Gavin, and while he was, or I guess Coach Hill wasn't in the box, but I was in the box with Coach Gavin and some of the other coaches, giving me a different perspective of the field and stuff. And so that was a cool experience. But so yeah, Kalani and Coach Hill have all the coaches that really have been good examples and given us opportunities, even during challenging times or injuries or whatever it may be. So,
Berkley, you both chose to serve missions for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Talan in Uruguay and California.
Yes.
And then you were in Argentina, Buenos Aires, right?
Yeah.
How did that decision, Berkley, impact your life? Because when you're wanting to play sports at the next level, it's kind of like Talan was talking about. You knew you wanted to do it, but probably in the back of your mind, you're like, how is this going to affect how I'm going to be playing football? So how did that decision impact your life when you look back?
Yeah, that's kind of a tricky one to answer because, going on a mission is hard because it's 2 years, it's long, and you don't really have the opportunity to work out like you normally do, to keep your body in shape, especially from an athletic perspective. But it really was, for me, a great experience because I just learned how to spiritually grow and also how to devote myself to the Lord in a way that I sacrificed a lot of things, including that athletic ability. I definitely lost strength, speed, a lot of those things while I was gone. But my perspective was that I just give everything to the Lord and He'll make it good on the back end,
And that's a very mature perspective, especially because you're kind of just getting going in your career. But
It's very mature.
it is. But it really, I truly believe it all works out, especially when you're sacrificing for the Lord. So, Talan, now that you're a senior for the Cougars, how do you view what your mission has done for you?
Yeah, it's changed. I always say this when this question kind of comes up. People talk about it's the best 2 years of your life, and just kind of switched one word in that it's the best 2 years for my life. Like, obviously, I've had great experience since then, and the mission's hard, and it's not always the most fun. I loved it, but it's not the best 2 years of my life. I hope not. I hope there's more to look forward
Please
to.
no.
Yeah, I hope there's more to look forward to. So,
Yeah.
But definitely for my life, it's the best 2 years because it changed the way I think, changed the way that I, talk with God, changed the way that I, look at life and everything. So it just shifted, and that's what the gospel's all about: was repentance, change, however you want to say it, and so lots of perspective shifts and stuff like that have shaped who I am, and I enjoy who I am right now. So
Yeah.
I hope to get better each day. But super grateful for that, the mission changing and sculpting the way that I view my relationship with God and the world in general. Honestly,
I think that is such a cool perspective and so true and refreshing that not necessarily the best 2 years of your life, but for your life.
Yeah.
I like that change. Berkley, you both talk about how BYU is more than just football. We as the fans, we get to watch the cut. We feel like we're kind of involved with the team and we fall in love with the coaches and the team from behind the scenes. But what does the culture of the team feel like truly from the inside?
Yeah, I think it feels, for me, it feels like what you see on the outside. It's interesting because by doing the walk-on program, I was on the outside. And so I got to be a fan for 2 falls since I've been here. And then this is my first season, and now I get to be on the inside. And it's truly what it seems like from the outside, which is really cool because a lot of times other people might be putting on a show or putting on a face for the fans. But Kalani is the head of the whole program, and he really practices what he preaches, and that trickles down throughout the whole organization.
Talan, what would you say about that? Because, like I said, the cut, it's amazing. Like, it really is.
Yeah,
The media
job.
team is just phenomenal for
Yeah.
BYU athletics. So it feels very cinematic, and we get all these emotions and stuff. But how would you describe what it's like being part of this BYU football team right now, mid-season?
Yeah, it's fun. It's really, really, really fun. We've hired new strength coaches 2 years ago, so we've had them for the last 2 years. We've had the new defensive staff, right? And I think those changes have been fun to kind of experience and see that there's a certain way to do things and a certain way that the game has to be played. And we talked about you have to respect the game, and to be able to go through everything with my teammates, including Berkley and everybody, and then it's 8 months out of the year you're just grinding. Summer, winter workouts and spring ball. Then they give us a little break, and then summer workouts and winter and summer conditioning, and then fall camp, and then you get September through January to play together, and we're in the middle of that right now. So it's been super fun to kind of see all that hard work be paying off. And I wish everyone could experience the post-game locker room dance celebrations. Those are always really fun. I don't know how that would be possible, but I need to get a glimpse into it. But it really is one of the most fun things ever. And I can't dance, but I get out there and dance, and people love it because I can't dance. So, so yeah, it's fun. It's it feels like, and people say this, it's kind of cliche, like a movie. Like it really is, though. Like it's even better than that because we're in it, we're really living it, and get to see what everyone has to go through to then experience on game day, and it's awesome. It's fun.
It's got to be so rewarding, like you mentioned, all that hard work paying off, but also for some reason BYU is always seen as this underdog, and you keep proving them wrong, right? So that, like you mentioned, it feels like a movie, and you're kind of in it right now with so much ahead, which is so much fun. We're going to do something fun right now. I'm going to quiz you on each other's football bios, which we've already established are super accurate. Yeah. So let's start with Talan. Talan, what three things does Berkley say he enjoys that are on his bio? There are three things. Very random. So I had to bring it up. They're very random
They
things.
are kind of random.
Family?
No.
Games?
Nope.
Like hobbies.
We'll give you one more.
Hobbies?
Yeah.
Yeah, hobbies. You mentioned one earlier today that you guys played when you were little against each other.
Ping pong.
Yep, that was one.
That's on your bio. Ping pong? Spike ball?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
All right,
I'm
it's
bad at
bowling,
this. Oh, bowling. I knew
ping
that
pong,
one.
and making sourdough bread.
Yeah, that's a new one. He's married.
That sounds totally like a married guy thing to say. So is that really Berkeley something you're into?
Yeah,
Making
I
sourdough.
don't do it a whole lot because I don't have a whole lot of time.
Yeah.
But I do like to. And my wife makes the best sourdough cinnamon rolls.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, those are great hobbies. Berkeley, what is the name of Talan's moped? He has this on his
I know
bio.
this. It's Selena.
Yes. What's the reason behind that name?
There's not really like a deep reason. It's silver, and I wanted it to be a girl's name, and so Selena was the first one that stuck, and I've had her the whole time here, so she's treated me well and just got me where I need to go and gets me front row parking, and so yeah, that's an easy one.
Selena, your wife's probably a little jealous of Selena the way you're talking about her. Talan, in your bio, it says you're a former pig farmer. Is this true? Is this a family thing? Is this something you did once? What's the story behind that?
It's a great story. Quickly, I'll kind of explain the joke behind it. Dating my wife, tell me something you don't know about me question comes up, and I'm like, oh, shoot, I was a pig farmer. Because in high school, what me and my buddies thought was a good idea to make some money was go to the local animal auction in the next town over and buy a pig, fatten it up over the summer, and sell it. We thought it'd be sweet. And then we had plans to keep it going, breed and have more. And, we had a whole business plan. Unfortunately, circumstances didn't allow for that to happen. But we did actually buy a pig and sold it for 3 times more than we bought it for. But we spent a lot of time, so it wasn't really worth it. So that's why I claim myself as a former pig farmer. So I told my wife that. And the joke is she was actually a pig farmer. She did it from the age of like 8 till high school. Her and her sister would, ride their little razor down to the pig pen, and they'd go show them at fair, and they would win, and then they earned enough money to buy a Mustang. So they're like legit pig farmers.
That's amazing.
That's why it's on the bio.
So she's like, you weren't actually a pig farmer.
Yeah,
she's
but
like,
I love to claim that I was, and
I'm impressed with the entrepreneurship that you and your friends had.
Yeah, shout out to my friends from back home in Auburn.
That's amazing. Okay, I just have 2 more questions for you guys. We're going to start with Talan. This is your last season at BYU. What do you want to happen to consider this season a success?
Well, that's a big question. I just want to win. I think the next 3 games are super important for us to go out and win, and then obviously have an opportunity if we do that to play in the Big 12 Championship and win that, and that'd be awesome. That's obviously the goal. And then from there, it's just play as long as we can. A home playoff game at LaVelle would be awesome. So we're looking forward to that if we can make that happen. But yeah, honestly, like I mean, the professional answer is taking it one game at a time, win this next one, and keep winning. But, like, I mean, truthfully, we want to keep winning and never lose the rest of the year, right? And into next year. So, 2026, January 26th. So, but, yeah, I think to be a success, though, I think it's been a successful season. I think if we can finally – this is my answer, and Kalani will like this one. if we can put together a full 60 minutes of our best football, then I'll be very pleased, very happy, and so would Kalani.
That was very coach-like of you. I like that. I like that a lot. That's probably in your future. Berkley, you're just getting started. You have a wife, you have a son, you have a beautiful future. What do you want these next few years to look like for you?
I think in all aspects, I just want to grow personally, but as far as the team goes, I want to see the team have as much success as possible. We're in the what are we ranked 12 right now? I don't know. Just make sure that we're constantly fighting to become better and better every game, every season. I think that's what I would like to see.
So awesome. I'm here with safety Talan Alfrey and his brother, linebacker Berkley Alfrey from the BYU football team. You guys, thank you so much for taking the time and coming on with me. You guys are amazing, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fun. Thank you.
This episode of Royal Legacy was produced by Annie Robinson and Christy Solomon with senior producer Terry South. Listen to Royal Legacy wherever you get your podcasts or on the BYU Radio app. Royal Legacy is a production of BYU Broadcasting.